Do you have any knowledge of any conversations that the president had directly with anybody at the Justice Department about allegations of voter fraud?
The Jeff Clark meeting, you know, he's an environmental lawyer. I don't think I'd put him in the election fraud category.
Do you know if Mr. Meadows was in touch with Jeff Clark?
Frequently.
Okay. Do you know how that started or why it started, what the purpose of it was?
No, I just came to recognize Mr. Clark as somebody that was assisting the efforts with the ongoing election investigation, litigation in the White House.
Do you know if Mr. Clark was working with Mr. Giuliani and his team?
Mr. Clark came to meetings that Mr. Giuliani was also in, that also met meeting with Mr. Meadows. And I remember Mr. Clark's frequent presence and his frequent outreach and communications, but I don't remember specific meetings or who he would have come with for what meeting.
Do you remember ever recommending to anybody that Mr. Clark, meaning Jeffrey Clark at DOJ, be given election-related responsibilities?
You mean beyond the president?
Correct.
Well, beyond the president, I do recall saying to people that somebody should be put in charge of the Justice Department who isn't frightened of what's going to be done to their reputation. Because Justice Department was filled with people like that. Did I mention Mr. Clark? I didn't know Mr. Clark that well, so somebody else may have mentioned him to me. I would not have been the one. I wouldn't have been in a position to recommend Mr. Clark. I didn't know him that well. But others might have said he's a good others may have said he'd be a good alternative, or he'd be a good person to be in charge because he's not intimidated by the press.